Hi there, beautiful creatives. I don't know about you, but do you experience the place where you know you want to create? You love creating once you get there, but you have a really hard time getting there. You procrastinate. There's little stories in your head about there not being enough time, or the dishes are more important, or everything else is more important than my time, and creating isn't valuable, and on and on and on. So there's nothing wrong with you. That's where I want to start. What is happening, which I talked about in my last video, is that part of our brain, our primitive brain, is trying to help us out. It wants us to conserve energy, which means watching another episode on Netflix. It wants us to conserve that energy in case we need to run from a tiger. It's coming from a good place, but not helpful in us creating the habit of creating. Good news is that our brains are malleable and changeable. So, first thing you want to do is you want to acknowledge that brain, and you want to acknowledge that there is nothing wrong with you. Because I don't know about you, but it's easy to think that when you're avoiding something, your voice goes into, I'm bad, I'm lazy, what's wrong with me? So first place, acknowledge that this is okay, that your brain is actually trying to take care of you. Okay, so you can let yourself off the hook. Then what you have to work on is creating a habit. And I think we all know that good habits are hard to create and bad habits are hard to break. But it is possible. Now, there are tons of good books out there about habits and the study of habits and how they work and connect with us and how to build better habits. But I'm going to just share with you a few things that have worked for me. So, I want to build the habit of creating on a daily basis or on a regular basis. So first off, I'm going to do that thing that you've been told to do that you don't necessarily want to do, is I'm going to schedule it. I'm going to write it down on the calendar. I'm going to write it down that at 4 p.m. every day I'm going to create. Okay, so now the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to get out your calendar and you're going to schedule it out, and you're going to schedule out an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours. Maybe you really want to get into it and schedule 3 hours, because you're going to create all the time every day. You're going to be super regular. And you actually get a little hit of oxytocin when you schedule that, because it sounds very hopeful and you know you're going to do it. Okay, don't do it. Stop. What you're going to do is you're going to schedule the bare minimum. I want you to schedule 5 minutes of creativity. Just 5 minutes. I want you to schedule it every day, or whatever you've decided is a regular amount, 5 times a week. And the super important thing is that time, that 5 minutes, is small enough that you really can't find an excuse not to do it. Everybody's got 5 minutes. God knows we look at our phones for 20, 30, 40 minutes. We're talking 5 minutes. Simple. You're going to just be creative for 5 minutes. Now, this is not making the ultimate project. This is just some kind of creative expression. So maybe that is a little bit of sketching. Maybe that is a tiny bit of stitching. Anything that feeds you and feels like creativity to you. There's no right or wrong. Now, the important thing is that you actually stop at that 5 minute, at least for the first week. Hang in with me. So just 5 minutes scheduled every day for a week. Okay? And now what's going to happen is your brain is going to actually start to trust you. It's going to trust that when you write something down, that you actually do it, okay? And you don't want to overwhelm it. You don't want to trick it into be like, oh, I scheduled it, now we have to do an hour and a half. No, 5 minutes, super simple. It's more important that we do smaller amounts of a new habit consistently. That's what's actually going to help build that habit. Another thing that you can do that's really helpful is you can attach that habit to a habit you already have established or a routine. So if you have your lunch every day at 1, after your lunch, do your 5 minutes of creativity, and that's going to help solidify that habit. Okay, now again, don't rush. So let's say you already have a creative practice, like you are regularly stitching or drawing or painting for hours at a time, okay? Well, what do you do with this? What is this useful for? Say you want to explore a new medium, do something different, something that you're not familiar with, and you keep kind of not getting there, not doing it because it's not easy. This is a place that you can use that 5 minutes. Take those 5 minutes and sketch because you're wanting to learn how to draw, okay? So trust, don't rush. You're gonna schedule, you're gonna do those bare minimum, 5 minutes for a week, and then after that week, if you want to increase, you can, but don't go from 5 minutes to an hour. So the process here is we are retraining our brain. We're getting our brains to trust us, okay? Let me know what you think about this idea, and if you have any processes that have worked for you in regards to procrastination or getting started when you don't want to. And make sure you come and join me at the Facebook group, Creativity is Vulnerable and Brave. I'd love to have you there. Thanks.